Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great because finally I have managed to procure, is that the right word? I don't even know why I said it, I guess I'm just feeling fancy. Whatever. I found Xbox Salt, more specifically Xbox Fanboys defending Microsoft increasing the prices of 5-year-old consoles and new games. You know, we don't get Xbox Salt very often. They're usually either quiet or there's just not many of them in general. But as with when any major company screws up, they came flying out of the woodwork for this one. Because, you know, Xbox is their favorite console, so they have to defend it. Forget the fact that you're getting scammed. Just defend the billion-dollar corporation that doesn't even know you exist. And these arguments, they're the classics. They range from inflation to tariffs to, oh, everybody else is doing it. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this. All right, first up, PlayStation. We raised the game prices to $70. Xbox, okay, I guess we're doing it now. Nintendo, we raised game prices to $80. Xbox, okay, I guess we're doing it now. Everyone, look at what Xbox has done. Trying to defend Xbox by saying, look at what the other companies are doing, does not work. You cannot distract people away from one problem with another, especially when people have been very vocal that they are not happy with the Nintendo price increases either. What, like, do you think that everybody's just okay with Nintendo charging $80 for games? I mean, there are certainly some people who are, but most people are absolutely not. People called out Nintendo when they did it, and plus, that does not justify Xbox raising their prices. This would be the perfect time for them to come out and say, we will not be raising our prices. Or hell, if they were feeling extra generous, maybe drop the prices back to 60. You know, get on people's good sides. Be like, hey, we're not gonna charge you extra, come over here. Will our profits not massively increase like usual? Maybe. But do you want to know what's really important in helping you make profits? Staying on the consumer's good side. It's definitely not required, but you know, doing a good thing and not raising prices when everyone else is, that's a great way to get people interested in your system. You know what isn't a great way to get people into your system, which is already not selling well? Increasing game and hardware prices. Basic economics lesson here. When demand is low, prices are supposed to fall, so that way there is more demand. This is the first thing you learn in an economics class. I would know, I'm minoring in economics right now in college. In fact, here's a very basic supply and demand graph on your screen. Demand is the downward sloping line. You can see when price is high, demand is low. I'm half convinced at this point that Microsoft is looking for a reason to not have to make these consoles anymore and just move on to the next gen. I have no idea what else could have possibly made them think this was a good idea. Just like, this is a side tangent by the way, who invented the WEBP file type? You guys know what I'm talking about? If you have had to download an image to your computer recently, you probably know what I'm talking about. This is the most useless file type ever. I always have to convert it to JPG. Somebody tell me where the person who invented that file type lives so I can send them a very strongly worded letter. Actually, I can't because I don't know how to address a letter. Whatever, the point is, one company doing something does not justify other companies doing it, and we can call out all of the companies for doing it. Nintendo opened the floodgates, yes, but that doesn't mean Microsoft had to go through with them. God forbid they be pro-consumer. All right, anyway, next tweet. Xbox did nothing wrong. You get what you effing vote for. Oh, look, now we got somebody blaming the big orange man. How are you gonna sit here and say Xbox did nothing wrong? They are the ones who made the decision to increase the prices. If the tariffs are hitting them that hard, they could switch to manufacturing in a different country. Look at what Nvidia did. Obviously, they got their own problems with overcharging for GPUs and whatnot. But right after the tariffs, they came out and said, hey, we're moving to the US. Also, even if the tariff argument actually did justify the price increase of the hardware, what's your defense for the software? Because notice how the $80 games are conveniently left out of this. If this tweet had said that the hardware increases had to happen because of tariffs, but the $80 games are unjustified, this tweet would have been a lot better. But no, you're just ignoring the fact that they're also increasing game prices, which definitely are not affected by tariffs because they are digital. It costs nothing to put a digital game on a marketplace. Not to mention, going back to the hardware for a second, this hardware's price should have been going down already. The fact that it stayed the same price for 5 years is ridiculous. So if we're accounting for how much the price should have been going down and then the offset with tariffs, the console should have basically stayed the same amount. Not to mention, these price increases are not just happening in the US, they are happening worldwide. I don't think US tariffs affect price increases in other countries. So explain that. Did people in Australia or the UK quote unquote vote for this? I didn't think so. Stop trying to justify this and using it as political ammunition. Oh my god. Alright, let's continue on. Next tweet. Am a Xbox consumer and am okay with the upcoming price increase, especially since the other two will do it also or have already done it. It's all good. Again, other platforms doing something should not make it suddenly okay when your platform does it. Like, if I get kicked in the balls by one person, that's not gonna make me be okay with it when somebody else comes along and kicks me in the balls. Okay? There was no need to upcharge the price of the consoles and especially the games. Like, I've said it in many videos and I'll say it again. If you're like not freaking out about it, you know, like you're not going online and demanding they lower the prices, that's whatever. All I ask is, like, don't be okay with getting scammed. Like, if you're not gonna actively fight against it, at least don't just come out and say, like, oh, well, I don't really mind that much because other people are doing it. No, that is not an excuse. To the people watching this video right now, did any of your moms ever say, oh, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you as well? It's the same idea, except much dumber, honestly. All right, moving on. While Nintendo and PlayStation gamers have no other option but to pay full price for $80 games, Xbox gamers aren't worried about video game price hikes because they know that they have the best value in gaming, Xbox Game Pass. First of all, Game Pass is more than likely gonna get another price increase soon. But even if it doesn't, dude, not every game is on Game Pass. There's a couple hundred, some very good ones, by the way, but still, everybody else is going to follow suit. All the third-party devs. Rockstar, hell, they're probably going to make it even more. EA, Ubisoft, Capcom, Bandai Namco. This is not just going to be the console manufacturers upcharging their game prices. Third-party devs are going to follow suit if this goes through. And guess what? You're not going to be able to get all those games on Game Pass. You're going to have to pay full price for some of them. And yes, plenty of Xbox gamers are freaking out about this. Except for the few like you who I have in this video right here. Besides that, I would say most people on Xbox are probably not very happy about this regardless of whether they have Game Pass or not. Because at the end of the day, Game Pass is just renting and people like to buy their games. Hell, I know people who use Game Pass as like a trial service, but then they buy the game if they like it. Those people are not happy about having to pay $10 extra for literally no reason. But yeah, you know guys, Xbox gamers just aren't worried because Game Pass, dude. Which by the way, this is such a scummy way. Like, say they don't raise the price of Game Pass at all. This is such a scummy way to artificially inflate the value of Game Pass. Because it's like, oh, well, now Game Pass is technically even more valuable because the games cost more. My brother in Christ, you artificially raise the prices. All right, moving on. This next guy is responding to a tweet that Josh made about Microsoft, quote, effing it up. Which, you know, true. So raising the price is effing it up? Go get a job, broke boy. Or better yet, find a hobby that fits your price range because gaming definitely ain't for you. It's always hilarious to me when these people, these corporate defenders, try to say go get a job. Dude, you literally sound unemployed. I didn't even know that was possible. But defending corporations who don't even know you exist is the definition of unemployed behavior. And to say find a hobby that fits your price range, brother, gaming is supposed to be affordable. At least console gaming is. And now PC is starting to become more affordable than console. That is the most ass-backwards thing ever. And yes, raising the price is effing it up when there's no reason to do it, especially on 5-year-old hardware. Why is this so hard for people to understand? I mean, then again, this guy's using the broke boy argument, so I shouldn't be expecting intelligence. Dude's up at at 1 a.m. defending a company and has the audacity to say, get a job. That's like me telling someone to get a girlfriend. Peak hypocrisy. Yes, that was a massive self-report. Alrighty, next up, $80 games are now officially a reality for Xbox. Nintendo is completely at fault. PlayStation is obviously next with this price hike, and $80 is about to be the new standard. Depressing to see how much of a luxury gaming is becoming with the constant price hikes. Okay, I agree with the last sentence completely. It is very depressing how much of a luxury it's becoming. But saying Nintendo is completely at fault, no. Again, like I said before, Nintendo opened the floodgates and they were the first ones to do it, but that doesn't mean Microsoft had to follow through. Think about it, was it Take-Two Interactive who made the first $70 game back in 2020? And then Microsoft didn't follow through for 3 years, and neither did Nintendo. It's almost like they didn't have to follow the price increases, and they just chose to. Look at FromSoft, for example. Their games are still $60 or less in the case of Night Rain. Elden Ring was $60, Armored Core was $60, and Armored Core came out definitely when $70 was established as the new standard. Like, the companies do not have to raise the prices. They just do it because they think they can get away with it. And unfortunately, it seems like they can. I'm so sick of the excuse that, oh, look, this guy's doing that, so it's okay for this guy to do it. No, it's bad. None of them should do it. And so you shouldn't defend them when they do.
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Alrighty, final tweet of the video. Thank God I'm losing it over here. And I really have to study for my finals. I should not be making this video right now. But the grind never stops, baby. Let's go. Alright, still cheaper than the PS5 Pro with a disk drive. And then he plugs his gaming channel, which I'm blocking that out. You are not getting free advertisement here, sir. But like, is this the state that Xbox fanboys have reached where something not costing as much as the PS5 Pro with a disk drive is suddenly a flex? That is not a flex. The price still went up. Hey guys, I'm selling this 2009 Toyota Highlander for $60,000, but that's not a scam because the Cybertruck costs $70,000. Like, you see what I mean? The logic is not logicking, and defending a product by saying at least it doesn't cost as much as another more expensive scam, that's not a good argument. All you're doing is arguing that you're an idiot. And yeah, with that being said, that's all I've got for this video, guys. As always, I especially appreciate it if you made it to the end, and if you do, you know what, I've started a new thing. I'm gonna start doing giveaways at the end of the video for the real ones. So for today, we're doing a Ritz cracker giveaway. Here, have a seat. You're welcome. Enjoy all the crumbs in your bed. But yeah, in all seriousness, with that being said, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Salt streams, and I will catch you all next time.